You will take both of us tonight." The words struck her like a slap, sharp, cold, and unbelievable. The young bride's breath trembled as she stared at the identical Korean Mafia twins standing in front of her. They were dressed in matching black suits, their expressions carved with dominance and dark certainty. One was colder, sharper, harder. The other, slightly softer around the eyes, but equally dangerous. Her heartbeat thundered in her chest, and she took a shaky step back, fingers trembling around the hem of her dress. What? What did you just say?" The cold twin, Min-jae, tilted his head, his eyes narrowing. "You heard me." His brother, Min-jun, flashed a small, devastating smile. "Don't be scared. We'll go slow." Her stomach twisted. Fear, confusion, disbelief. Everything crashed into her at once. Before she could find her voice, Min-jae spoke again, his tone slicing through the air. "You're ours now, and you'll obey. If you're watching this and want more twisted tales like this, make sure you subscribe, like, and drop a comment below. Your engagement helps keep these stories alive." The bride's lips parted, but no sound came out. Her mind was still trying to process the impossible sentence they had just thrown at her. She wanted to run. She wanted to scream. She wanted to wake up from what felt like a nightmare. But none of this was a dream. It was her wedding night, and she had married the most feared twins in Korea's underworld. Her voice finally scraped out. This can't be real. I didn't agree to this." Min-jun stepped closer, lifting her chin gently but firmly. "You didn't agree to the marriage either, sweetheart. Yet here you are." She flinched, pulling her face away, but his grip was unyielding. He wasn't hurting her, just reminding her she had no power here. Min-jae folded his arms behind his back like a commander. "You're not here to agree. You're here to unite us, to secure the family line, to fulfill the contract." Her throat tightened. "I didn't sign any contract." "Your uncle did," Min-jae replied calmly. "He exchanged you for money. Something you probably never saw." Her legs weakened, and she gripped the edge of a table to keep from collapsing. No, he wouldn't do that." Min-jun gave a small sigh. "Humans will do anything when they're desperate, even sell their own blood." Her eyes stung, but she forced back the tears. She didn't want them to see her break. Not now. Not on her first night in this nightmare. Min-jae took slow, deliberate steps toward her. Every movement felt like a threat. "You'll adjust. You'll learn how things work here." Her heartbeat quickened. "Please, let me go home." "Home?" Min-jae echoed, raising a brow. "You mean the place where you were starving? Struggling? Invisible? Do you think anyone there will protect you from us?" Min-jun stepped. Behind her, his voice gentler, but still ironclad. "You are safer here than anywhere else. We're not going to hurt you." "You already are," she whispered. For the first time, Min-jun's smile faded. Min-jae's didn't. Min-jae leaned closer, his voice low, controlled, and merciless. "Look at me." Her gaze shifted upward despite herself. "You will do what we tell you," he said, each word clipped. "You will stay where we put you, and tonight you will take us both." Her breath hitched. "I can't, please. I can't." Min-jun placed his hand gently over her trembling one. "We know you're scared, but we're not monsters." She jerked her hand away, shaking violently. "You are monsters, both of you." A flicker of something hurt crossed Min-jun's eyes. But Min-jae? His expression remained a blank wall. Then he signaled toward the door. "Bring her." 2 guards stepped in instantly. "No, no!" she screamed, backing away. "Please, don't touch me." Min-jun raised a hand sharply. "Stop." The guards froze. He walked to her slowly, crouching slightly so his face aligned with hers. "We are not going to drag you, but we will not repeat ourselves. You walk with us willingly, or you get carried. That's the only choice you have." Her breath came fast and shallow. "Why me? Why did it have to be me?" Minjun's eyes softened. Minjai's hardened. Minjai answered first. "Because you're untouched." Minjun added almost apologetically. "And because our family believes purity creates strong bloodlines." The words stabbed her. "So I'm just breeding stock?" Minjai didn't flinch. "Yes." Minjun winced. "It's more complicated than that." "It's not," Minjai corrected. Her tears began to fall. She hated that they saw it. Minjun reached out to wipe one, but she slapped his hand away. "Don't touch me." His jaw tightened. "Fine. But you need to understand something. We are the only protection you have now. No one else will come for you." "I didn't ask for your protection," she shouted, her voice breaking. "I want my life back." Minjai leaned close, his breath cold on her cheek. "That life is over. Accept it." She shook her head furiously. "Never." A dangerous silence filled the room. Minjai straightened. "Then we'll teach you." Minjun placed a hand on his brother's arm. "Hyung, she's terrified. Give her time." "She doesn't have time," Minjai said sharply. "The rite must happen tonight." Her knees buckled. "Right?" she whispered. Minjun swallowed. "Our family tradition. It's symbolic." "Symbolic?" she rasped. "You're talking about forcing me." Minjai didn't even blink. "We don't force. We take what is already ours." Minjun flinched at the wording but said nothing. "Please," she begged, voice cracking. "Please, don't do this to me. I'm begging you." Minjai's expression remained ice. Minjun looked conflicted. Finally, Minjun let out a small breath. "Let's give her 10 minutes alone." Minjai frowned. "For what purpose?" "So she stops shaking," Minjun replied quietly. "She's not a toy. She'll break." Minjai studied her trembling frame. 10 minutes, no more." They walked out, the guards following. The heavy door shut. She collapsed to the floor immediately, sobbing into her hands. Desperation clawed at her throat. 10 minutes, 10 miserable minutes before the nightmare continued. She crawled to the dresser, opened drawers. Nothing. She checked the windows. Locked, sealed. Her hands shook as she tried to force the balcony door open, but it wouldn't budge. Her breath hitched, panic rising again. She was trapped, imprisoned, bound to 2 men who believed they owned her. She turned, pressing her back to the wall, hugging her knees as the weight of reality crushed her chest. Then, a soft voice behind the door, muffled but unmistakable. "Don't cry," Minjun murmured. "It hurts to hear you cry." Her heart raced. He was outside the door, listening, waiting, and she knew. Her 10 minutes were almost over. She froze at the sound of Minjun's voice. Even through the thick door, she felt his presence like a shadow pressing against her skin. She didn't answer. She didn't want to. She didn't owe him a single word. A few seconds of silence passed. Then Minjai's deeper voice cut sharply from somewhere farther in the hall. "Stop lingering. You're coddling her." "I'm trying to calm her," Minjun muttered. "She doesn't need calm. She needs obedience." Her breath hitched. Minjai's tone was colder than metal, the kind of cold that bruised the soul before touching the body. She wiped her tears quickly. She didn't want to be trembling when they walked in again. Not because she wasn't terrified, she was, but because she didn't want to give them the satisfaction. Her 10 minutes ended with a soft, decisive click. The door opened. Minjai entered first, posture rigid, eyes unreadable. Minjun followed behind him, eyes scanning her face, as if checking whether she had hurt herself. "Stand!" Minjai ordered. She didn't move. "Stand," he repeated, voice lower. She stared at the floor. "I don't want this," she whispered. "We know," Minjun said softly. "But you will still comply," Minjai finished. She didn't move. Fear was eating her alive, but so was defiance. Something in her refused to break so easily. Minjai stepped forward. Minjun caught his arm. "Hyung, let me talk to her." "You had 10 minutes," Minjai snapped. "Give me one more." Minjai exhaled sharply through his nose. 1 minute. He stepped back, jaw clenched. Minjun approached her slowly, crouching down until his eyes met hers, not touching, not reaching, just looking. "You're shaking," he murmured. She bit her lip. "Why do you care?" "Because you're my wife." "I'm not a wife," she spat. "I'm a prisoner." His expression flickered with pain, real pain. "Look at me," he whispered. She refused. "Please," he added quietly. Something about that "please" tugged at her. Against her will, her eyes lifted. Minjun's gaze wasn't cold. It wasn't hungry. It wasn't violent. It was sad. He spoke so quietly, she almost didn't hear him. "I don't want to hurt you." "Then let me go," she said. "I can't." His voice broke just slightly. "But I can protect you." "From who?" She scoffed. "Your brother?" "From everyone," he whispered. "Even him." Her chest tightened. For a moment, just a moment, she almost believed him. Then Minjai stepped forward. Patience snapped. "Time's up." Minjun's jaw tensed, but he stood and moved aside. Minjai's eyes locked onto her like a predator, assessing prey. "You will obey now." "And if I don't?" she whispered. His answer was immediate. "You will." Her throat constricted. "Why are you doing this to me?" Minjai leaned down, expression like carved stone. "Because it is written. Because you are the chosen bride, and because our father decreed it." "I don't care about your father," she cried. Minjai's eyes darkened. "You should. He controls this entire empire. He controls our fate." He leaned closer. "He controls yours." Minjun flinched at the implication. Minjai didn't. She forced herself to stand, using the wall for support. What if I refuse tonight? What if I run? What if I fight back?" Minjai's voice dropped to a quiet, terrifying murmur. "Then both of us will chase you." Her breath caught. "And we will catch you," Minjun whispered reluctantly. "And we will bring you back," Minjai continued. "And after that?" Minjun's voice trembled slightly. "There will be no gentleness left." She swallowed hard. "You're both insane." Minjun didn't deny it. Minjai stepped behind her suddenly, his presence overwhelming, his breath ghosting her ear. "Walk!" She froze. Minjai's voice hardened. "Walk to the bedroom, now!" Her body wouldn't move. Her muscles locked. Her mind screamed. Minjai's jaw tightened. "You're wasting our time." Minjun stepped between them quickly. "Hyung, stop." "I said walk," Minjai growled. "She's terrified," Minjun insisted. "If you keep pushing her like this, she'll faint." "Good, then she won't resist." Minjun's eyes flashed. "She's human, not property." "She is property," Minjai shot back. "Ours." Their voices rose, clashing like storms. Minjung grabbed Minjai's shoulder and shoved him back. "You're scaring her." "She should be scared. Not like this." "Then how?" Minjai barked. "How do you propose we handle her? With flowers? With lullabies?" "She is here for one purpose." "You're acting like father." Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. Minjai's nostrils flared. "Take that back." "No," Minjun said quietly. Because it's true. Their eyes locked, rage and resentment sparking like electricity between them. She watched, heart pounding. The twins' hatred for each other was real, deep, old. Minjun turned back to her. "Come with me," he said gently. "Not him. Me." She hesitated. Minjai's voice sliced through the moment. "Touch her, and I break your fingers." Minjun's jaw clenched. "Try it." The tension snapped. Minjai lunged. Minjun shoved him back. A harsh, violent struggle broke out. Fists slamming, elbows colliding, breathless grunts filling the room. They grappled like wolves, fighting for dominance, for territory, for her. "Stop!" she screamed, tears spilling again. "Please stop! Stop!" They didn't. Minjai pinned Minjun to the wall. Minjun twisted, slamming Minjai's shoulder into the dresser. Glass shattered. They barely felt it. "Stop!" she sobbed louder, voice cracking painfully. Both men froze instantly. Her sobbing echoed in the room, raw and broken. Minjai's breathing was harsh. Minjun's chest heaved. They stared at her. Not at each other. Eyes dark with something more complicated than anger. Minjun was the first to move. He walked to her slowly, hands raised in surrender. Hey, please don't cry. We didn't mean to." "Yes, we did," Minjai muttered. Minjun shot him a murderous glare. He wiped a tear from her cheek gently. She didn't pull away this time. She was too tired, too scared. Minjun whispered, "You don't deserve this. Any of this." She sobbed. "Then why do you keep doing it?" Minjun looked away, voice cracking. "Because fate doesn't care about what we deserve." Minjai stepped closer, eyes cold as steel. "Enough." "No," Minjun snapped. "I'm not letting you treat her like merchandise." Minjai raised a brow. "You think you can stop me?" Minjun stood tall, positioning himself between her and his brother. "Try me." Minjai's eyes gleamed with lethal challenge. "Move." "No." A dangerous silence followed. Then Minjai said calmly, "If she won't obey, then I'll deal with the uncle who sold her." She froze. Minjun's head whipped toward him. "Hyung, don't." Minjai continued, staring directly at her. "I can make him disappear." Her heart stopped. No, she whispered. "Then cooperate," Minjai said simply. Her hands shook violently. "You wouldn't—" "I would." His voice was ice. "And you know it." Her stomach twisted so hard she nearly gagged. Minjun whispered urgently, "Don't threaten her family." "I'm not threatening," Minjai said. "I'm stating the consequences." She covered her face, sobbing again. Minjun's voice trembled. "Hyung, please, don't do this." Minjai stepped closer. "She leaves this room with us. Now!" She could barely breathe, barely think. But she whispered one broken sentence. "Oh, okay. I'll go." Minjun froze. Minjai's expression softened just 1 degree. Her voice shattered. "Just don't hurt my uncle." Minjun shut his eyes painfully. Minjai nodded once. "Good." He turned, gesturing toward the door. "Come." Minjun reached the top of the staircase first, but he didn't move forward. He simply stood there, blocking the hallway as if shielding her from something, or perhaps shielding something from her. His jaw clenched, and his fingers tightened around the railing. Below, the mansion was silent, guards pretending not to listen, tension humming like electricity in the air. Minjai came up behind her slowly, steps soft but controlled, hands in his pockets as if he wasn't the one who'd just shattered her world with brutal truth. He stopped right behind her, close enough that she could feel the heat of his chest at her back. She stiffened, but he didn't touch her. "You wanted answers," Minjai murmured. "Now you have them. But don't make the mistake of thinking we're the villains in your life." She swallowed, voice barely steady. "You kidnapped me. Yes, Minjai said simply. Minjun said nothing. His silence cut deeper than Minjai's bluntness. And you expect me to... what? Accept it? She asked, forcing the words out. Minjai finally stepped beside her, eyes sharp and unreadable. No, we expect you to survive. Minjun flinched at that, turning his head just enough for her to notice. She blinked. Why did that word hurt him too? She stepped back from them, needing space, needing clarity. But the hallway felt too narrow, her breath too loud, their gazes too heavy on her. Why me? She whispered. Why choose me? Why drag me into something that has nothing to do with me? Minjai raised a brow. You still think you had nothing to do with it? Minjun finally spoke, voice rough. She doesn't know. The younger twin looked irritated. Of course she doesn't know. She was a kid. She stared between them, confusion tightening her chest. Know what? Minjun turned fully toward her now, his eyes softer than she'd ever seen. Your father wasn't who you thought he was. Her heart skipped. My father? What does he have to... He worked for our father, Minjun said. Long before the last war in Seoul, he was trusted, loyal, respected. Minjai's expression hardened. Until he betrayed him. The floor felt like it tilted beneath her feet. She shook her head instantly. No, my father was a teacher, a simple man. He wasn't involved in any of this. He used his simple life as cover, Minjai said. Smart man, too smart. He stole something from our father, something priceless. And that's why you dragged me here? Because of something my father did? Not dragged, Minjai corrected coldly. Retrieved. Minjun closed his eyes for a brief second, pained. Minjai, stop. But Minjai continued, voice like ice. Our father gave one order before he died. Find anything and anyone connected to your family, and decide if the bloodline should be erased or preserved. She froze, blood running cold. So I was a target, she whispered. You were supposed to kill me? Minjun's voice cracked in the middle. No, we would never... Minjai cut him off. The order was vague. We made a different choice. She stepped back instinctively. To marry me? Minjai's eyes locked onto hers. To claim you. Minjun swallowed hard, as though the words tasted bitter. To protect you. She stared at them, unable to tell which twin terrified her more. The cold one who spoke the ugly truth, or the gentle one who seemed to break under it. What did my father steal? She asked, voice trembling. Minjai tilted his head. Why do you think we're telling you this now? We need you to remember something. Anything. I don't know anything, she snapped. Maybe not consciously, Minjai replied, but trauma buries memory, and you were there. She shook her head again. There where? Minjun stepped closer, slow and careful, like approaching a frightened animal. The night your house burned. Her breath hitched. Fire, screams, smoke, a silhouette dragging her out, shadows. And then... She gasped. A man carrying her, a man with... She blinked and stared at Minjun and Minjai, heart racing so fast she thought it would burst. Oh, wait, she whispered to us. Was it you? One of you? Minjun stared at her like she'd stabbed him. You. Remember that? A small flash, a hand grabbing hers, whispering, Don't be afraid. Her knees weakened. I don't know, she whispered. It's just pieces. Minjai exhaled sharply. Finally! Minjun looked furious. She's scared. Stop pushing her. She needs to remember, Minjai insisted, or we'll never find the ledger. She frowned. Ledger? What ledger? Minjai placed a hand on the wall beside her head, trapping her without touching her. Your father wrote down everything. Names, deals, money trails, alliances. The kind of document that could destroy half the syndicates in East Asia, and he hid it before he died. She stared at them, voice small. And you think I know where it is? Minjai's eyes were unwavering. We think he trusted you with something. Kids know things. Adults don't realize. Minjun stepped closer, gentle but firm. We're not going to hurt you, but you're not safe outside. If the other clans find out who you are, they'll come for you first. Her body trembled. So what now? Minjai answered. Now we train you. Minjun flinched again but nodded slowly. You're part of us now, whether you accept it or not. She took a shaky breath, eyes wide. Part of a Mafia family. Minjai leaned in just enough for the air to thicken. Part of us. Her chest tightened painfully. Minjun gently touched her wrist, a soft contrast to his brother's intensity. We will keep you safe, I promise. But Minjai added, voice low and dark. And we will get what we need from you, one way or another. Her pulse spiked. She jerked her hand away. I'm not your pawn. Minjai smirked. No, you're our bride. Minjun's jaw tensed. Minjai, enough. But Minjai leaned into her space again. She needs to understand what she is to us. Her breath caught as he whispered, You will take both of us tonight, when you're ready. When you stop pretending you don't feel the pull between us. She slapped him before she even realized her hand had moved. The sound cracked through the hall. Minjun froze. Minjai's head turned slowly back toward her, cheek red, eyes burning. Not with anger, but something much more dangerous. He smiled, a slow, terrifying smile. Good, he whispered. Fight. It makes you more interesting. She stepped back, heart pounding. Minjun moved immediately between them. Enough! She's human, Minjai. She's scared. She's not a soldier. Minjai sneered. Then she needs to become one. I won't let you break her, Minjun snapped. You don't have a choice, Minjai replied. She stared at them, two sides of the same dangerous coin, and realized something chilling. They weren't just fighting over her. They were fighting for her, and both of them intended to win. She took a shaky breath. I want to go to my room. Minjai stepped back, giving space but never dropping his gaze. Go. But this conversation isn't finished. Minjun nodded softer. I'll walk you. She shook her head. No, I need to breathe. For the first time, both twins let her pass. As she walked down the hallway alone, their gazes burned into her back, one full of longing, the other full of possession. She didn't know which one frightened her more. She didn't know which one she wanted more. And she didn't know how much longer she could run from either of them. Her footsteps echoed down the long hallway, but the pounding in her chest was louder. Every breath felt like a fight. Every shadow felt like it carried another secret she wasn't ready to hear. By the time she reached the guest room they'd placed her in, she slammed the door shut and pressed her back against it, sliding down until she sat on the cold floor. Her palms trembled. Her mind raced. She closed her eyes and whispered to herself, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be with them. But another thought slipped in, unwelcome and terrifying. Yet you stayed. She shook her head hard and covered her face with her hands. A soft knock broke through her panic. Not loud, not demanding. Just there. She froze. Please don't be Minjai. But the voice that came through wasn't sharp or arrogant. It was soft, hesitant. It's me, Minjun said quietly. I won't come in unless you say so. She pressed her head against the door, breathing unevenly. Why are you here? Because you're afraid. he murmured. "And because I hate that you walked away thinking you're alone." She shut her eyes, fighting the ache in her chest. "I'm not alone. I'm trapped." There was a long silence. Then, in a low voice, "You're not trapped with us. We're trapped with you." She frowned. "What is that?" Another presence suddenly appeared on the other side of the door. She could feel it instantly, like the temperature in the hallway shifted. Minjai. She didn't hear him, but she felt him. The air thickened. "You shouldn't crowd her," Minjun said sharply. Minjai's voice was calm and low. "She needs to hear both sides. I think she's had enough of you for one night." "Funny," Minjai replied. "She didn't ask you to leave." She stood quickly, heart pounding, and pulled the door open before the twins could erupt into another argument. Both of them stepped back slightly. Minjun looked worried. Minjai looked amused. "I don't want to fight," she said softly. "Not between you. Not because of me." Minjun lowered his gaze. Minjai tilted his head, studying her. "Then what do you want?" Minjai asked quietly. She hesitated. "I want answers, but I also want space." Minjai smirked. "Contradictory. Interesting." Minjun shot him a glare. "Can you stop for 1 second?" She stepped out of the doorway, hands trembling slightly but firm. "No, he's right." Both twins looked at her. "I'm confused. I'm angry. I'm scared. But part of me," she swallowed, "part of me is drawn to you. Both of you. And I don't know how to handle that." Minjun's breathing hitched. Minjai's smirk softened almost imperceptibly. She continued, voice low. "I don't want to be manipulated. I don't want to be forced. I don't want to be someone's possession." Minjai stepped closer until he stood only a breath away. "You're not our possession." "You said I was." "I said you were ours," Minjai corrected gently. "There's a difference." She blinked. "What difference?" Minjun moved beside them, voice soft. "Possession is about power. Ours is about belonging." Her breath caught. Minjai's voice dropped to a near whisper. "You belong with us." She stepped back instinctively, overwhelmed. I don't know." Minjai didn't chase her. He just watched her like he could see straight through her, fear into the part she was trying desperately to hide. Minjun reached out slowly, gently touching her elbow so she could pull away if she wanted. She didn't. "You're thinking about running," Minjun murmured. "I can see it on your face." She exhaled shakily. "Would you stop me?" Minjai answered instantly. "Yes." Minjun delayed. Yes." Her chest tightened. "Why?" Minjun answered with honesty that hurt. "Because you're important." Minjai added. "And because you'd die if you left." She flinched. Minjai stepped closer and lowered his voice so softly she barely heard it. "You're safer in the arms you fear than in the world you think is free." She stared at him, unable to look away. Part of her hated how much sense he made. Another part hated how much she wanted to believe him. "Come with us," Minjun said. "There's something we want to show you." She hesitated. "What is it?" Minjai's expression shifted, less sharp, more serious. "Your father's last message." Her breath froze. "My father?" "Left a message." Minjun nodded. "We didn't want to show you until you remembered something. But I think you're ready." Her pulse quickened. "Where is it?" "In our father's vault," Minjai said. "Only we can open it." A chill ran down her spine as the twins turned and began walking down the dimly lit hallway. She hesitated for a moment, but then followed. The vault was hidden behind a wooden panel, disguised as part of the wall. When the twins stood on opposite sides and pressed their palms into the carved markings, a metallic groan echoed, and the panel slid back, revealing a heavy steel door. Min-jae typed a code. Min-jun used a retinal scanner. The door opened with a cold hiss. Inside was a single table, a small metal box resting on top. Her breath caught. Min-jun walked forward and unlocked the box with a key around his neck. "We kept it sealed all these years." Min-jae folded his arms. "Open it." She hesitated before lifting the lid. Inside was a torn piece of paper, her father's handwriting. Her knees nearly buckled. Min-jun moved closer. "Read it." Hands shaking, she lifted the message. "If you're reading this, they found you. Trust the twins. They are your only safety. The ledger is hidden where you first cried. Do not run. Do not trust anyone but them. Where you first cried. Find it." Her throat closed. Min-jae stepped forward, voice calm but intense. "Do you understand what this means?" She shook her head. "Where I first cried? What is that?" Min-jun swallowed. "A newborn's first cry." Her eyes widened. Min-jae finished the sentence. "Your birthplace." Her breath stilled. "My village burned down." "Not everything," Min-jae said. "Some things survive when the world thinks they can't." She hugged the note to her chest, overwhelmed, shaking. Min-jun cupped her face gently, forcing her to meet his eyes. "We're going to protect you. You're not alone anymore. You never were." Min-jae stepped behind her, his presence grounding and terrifying all at once. "And when this is over, we'll finish what we started." Her breath hitched. Min-jun's thumb brushed her cheek. "We'll wait until you choose." Min-jae whispered by her ear. "But you will choose us." Her heart pounded. Her father's message burned in her hands. Her fate was sealed. And somewhere, deep inside her trembling chest, she knew. She wasn't just running from the twins. She was running toward them.